Democrats still scrambling right now. All eyes are on this woman for 2028. You got me. The Democrats are scrambling. I'm sitting here scratching my head like, why don't you? I don't want to give them advice because I can actually give them very good advice. My advice all along was to never run Biden and to never run Kamala, yet, clearly they didn't take my advice. I said it back on the show. I mean, if you guys are thinking you would have actually run Gavin Newsom, I know he's a disaster for California, but he looks the part and he can talk the talk and walk the walk. And now he's suddenly flipping. He told my friend Charlie Kirk just yesterday that he thinks that it's a no-brainer that girls should be competing against girls and not trans athletes. It's like, well, where'd that come from? Oh, I guess he really does want to get serious about running in 2028. But, his party's so messed up that they're not going to get there. Instead, they're looking at this little number who needs to work on her language.
First of all, thank you for making the back of my head famous. But second of all, if we could do a sequel, if you could tell Donald Trump anything tonight, what would you tell him?
I would tell him to grow a spine and stop being Putin's hoe.
What? Did I hear that right? Yeah, I heard that right. You heard that right too. Okay, so like I said, she does need to clean up her language. Occasionally we have to clean it up for her. Like literally every time a soundbite comes, I have to say to the team, hey, just make sure there's no more F-bombs or other things in there, because this woman, Jasmine Crockett is her name. I'm sorry, Leslie, if you're watching from Texas. Leslie is just a wonderful, she's been on the Trish Regan channel here in our community from the very beginning, like when I had 10 people watching. And she's like, I can't believe they elected her in Texas. Leslie's from Texas. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't know what Texas is thinking, other than they get some serious gerrymandering going on there. Here we go.
Listen, he up there, he's spewing all kinds of nonsense and bullshit. Let me just be real. And we weren't gonna sit for that shit. We wouldn't, we showed up. And if he had some sense, then maybe we would have been about that life. But y'all know he ain't got no sense. So please give some love. This took a little bit of coordinating to do for sure. We got some cool shirts. We got Madam Williams, who just happens to have the honorary seat. It's not even honorary because she holding it down, y'all. But the legend himself, John Lewis, that is the seat in which she currently serves. So she honored his legacy. This is the message that she wanted to send today. We've got my sis, Andrea Salinas, and she kept it real simple. Resist. That's what we about. Where's Maxwell? We got Max. No kings live here, okay?
No kings.
Yeah, we sending a message. We sending a message. We've got President Musk. Y'all saw the camera just flash to him, because this is really his administration. And we got another resist. Listen, and mine is let me get you, Jazz.
Shirley Chisholm, the ultimate unbought and unbossed. That's Jasmine Crockett.
Right, y'all.
I mean, honestly. So here's what you don't know, though. That's an act. That's what's come out just in the last 24 hours, I think, as her name has come up increasingly as possibly the next presidential contender in 2028. People have started to do what you might call a little bit of opposition research. And in that opposition research, what they have found is actually she's really not as, dare I say, trash talking or ghetto-like as you might think. That actually that's a bit of an act. During her first 2 weeks in Congress, she spoke very differently. And then at some point she just decided, this ain't working for me, right? So I'm going to develop a different persona, and that persona is what's going to propel me forward, because it's going to be so freaking bizarre and so unlike anything that anybody's ever seen before that's actually going to propel me forward. So what is worth knowing is that she is actually somebody who grew up fairly affluently. She went to a $35,000 school for her high school education. Then she attended Rhodes College, where tuition is somewhere around $55,000 per year. So she's sort of cosplaying, to use one of their words that they like. Wasn't that the Timmy's word, cosplaying a gangsta, right? Like she's trying to pretend she's a gangsta. But she actually went to this exclusive day school, and she's actually kind of not from the hood. She actually grew up in a rather exclusive environment. So it's like, will the real Jasmine Crockett please stand up? I mean, really. And the weird thing is she's kind of catching on. Like that bit about Putin's hoe, that actually catches on. I mean, sad to say, not probably with the voters. That's where she's going to have some difficulty. But with the young people, the question is, can you motivate those young people into actually going to the voting booths? I don't think so. I mean, we saw that Donald Trump motivated a lot of young people. But what Jasmine is trying to do is just scrape the bottom of the barrel. And I don't think the bottom of the barrel is really going to show up to vote. So all in all, when I look at this, I say, okay, it's interesting. They think she has some star power. She's going to replace AOC. AOC's freaking out. Oh my gosh, like, where am I? Well, you couldn't deliver the Hispanic vote, lady, so they're kind of done with you. And they're putting their money on Jasmine Crockett, to which I say, hey, great, do it all day long. 1, she's a phony. 2, she talks like she's from the gutter, even though she's not. And people will see through her, not to mention they don't want someone like that representing the United States of America on an international scale. I mean, it's just not going to happen. Reminder, sign up for 76 Research, code word dollar. We were just talking about the Bitcoin reserve, right, and the crypto reserve. We've got a crypto newsletter coming out. So we also actually, by the way, just yesterday put out a new note on 76 Research about one of our picks that's up 8% and is actually a great play on tariffs, because I know everybody's nervous with tariffs, et cetera. Debbie, thank you so much. I appreciate the generosity. Debbie Ragsdale, thank you so much. But this is a good way anyway for you guys to be thinking about markets right now as you try and contemplate just what exactly to do for the future. And I would say there's a lot of good stuff ahead, and there's going to be a lot of buying opportunities ahead.